and welcome to another episode in our series of online webinars about Gilroy Gannon's business support programme during the Covid-19 crisis. My name is Jim Hunt and I'm joined across the Northwest by Gilroy Gannon partner Mel McKeown, Business Advisory Director Michael Keane and Tax Director Desi Foley. And we're here today to help wade through all the supports that are available to Irish businesses during these unprecedented times. Let's kick off first with Enterprise Ireland. Michael Keane, can you give us an overview of how Enterprise Ireland are supporting Irish businesses at the moment?
The government, through the various state agencies, in fairness to them, have been very proactive in responding to the crisis arising out of the COVID-19 pandemic, none more so than the Revenue Commissioners through the TWSS scheme, which is in another one of our series, but also in relation to Enterprise Ireland and local enterprise offices. But specifically in relation to Enterprise Ireland, they have developed a suite of supports across a range of different areas, and I'll just run through some of them briefly for you. I suppose the key point is anybody who is an EI client or an UDROS client probably have an existing relationship with those organisations, and they should reach out to them and make contact. The starting point for most of these supports, which have got EU approval, is the Business Financial Planning Grant, and this enables businesses in the manufacturing or internationally traded services to access a grant of €5,000 and access to a consultant who will prepare a business plan, which EI refer to as a sustainment plan, which this will identify the stabilisation of the business, managing the business through COVID-19 and progression onwards into 2021 and thereafter. So that business financial planning grant is the entry point to develop your business plan. Thereafter, EI have other supports, including a sustaining enterprise fund. The prerequisites for that is 10 or more employees, a 50% drop in turnover or profits, or a significant increase in costs. The company or the business has to have applied for an SBCI grant, which has been unsuccessful, and Mel will deal with those in further detail shortly. They can then access this sustaining enterprise grant, which is a loan of up to 800,000. Repayable in 5 years at a very competitive interest rate of 4%. So it's for businesses that have a short-term liquidity issue, but have no viability issues. And briefly then, in relation to other supports that are available from EI, include a retail online scheme and a business improvement grant scheme. Now, some of these schemes may not have been opened yet, but they will be coming on stream. And they also have other grants in their suite, which include consultancy grants and key manager grants, of which you can get a 50% contribution. So in summary, EI have been very proactive in developing a response to COVID-19, and we would encourage people to either contact their EI, UDROS connection, or contact us, and we will assist them in reaching out for those grants, and principally in the first instance in getting the business financial planning grant application together. So I'll pass over to Mel now. He might talk about the other supports.
Thanks very much, Michael and Jim. Yeah, just to continue on with where Michael has been talking about, there are further supports also available through the Strategic Banking Corporation of Ireland, SBCI, and I suppose specifically they have two schemes, both of which I suppose have been in existence but have been rebranded or redesigned for COVID-19. The first one is the SBCI Working Capital Loan Scheme, and as it says, it's to assist with future working capital requirements. It's eligible, as is the Future Growth Loan Scheme, for companies that have less than 250 employees, less than 50 million turnover, and a balance sheet less than 43 million. So it's the main SME sector that it's aimed at. The loans are not available for refinance or for companies that are in financial difficulty, but they are available where you can demonstrate an impact of 15% on your turnover as a result of the impact of COVID-19. And you just need to be able to develop the criteria that what you're looking to do is innovative or changing your business to manage the impact of COVID-19. So things like trying to develop online or to develop a new sector of your business as a result of COVID-19 would fall into that. In relation to the working capital loan scheme, just to be aware that the loan is repayable within 3 years, so it's quite a short time frame. The maximum loan you can secure under it is 1.5 million, and the first 500,000 is unsecured, with an interest rate of no greater than 4%. So it's quite an attractive option for some companies, and it's there. The Future Growth Loan Scheme also available, and unlike the Working Capital Loan Scheme, it has a longer term repayment capacity of up to 10 years. There's larger amounts of money available for it, and it's really aimed at helping on a longer term basis to firms that have been impacted by COVID-19. Again, the aim of the scheme is to make loans to Irish businesses just to allow themselves to get through COVID-19 impact and to develop the business and to develop themselves going forward into the future. There are obviously eligibility criteria that we've already discussed in terms of the number of employees and turnover, and all applications go through the SBCI. We have on our document we have links to the two schemes, and in both cases you have to apply through the SBCI to get approval, and then following that you then take that approval and you go through a normal bank credit facility system with one of the pillar banks. In addition to that, within SBCI, there is also the credit guarantee scheme that again has been available, and its aim is to help SMEs to get credit where they can't actually get this from their normal bank. And I suppose the carrot for the banks to lend eventually through this scheme is that the scheme operates whereby the SBCI provide an 80% guarantee to the finance providers in relation to the loan that has been advanced to the company. It can be used again to support changes that a business needs to make in response to COVID-19, and the facilities range up to about €1 million with a long-term repayment of 7 years. So again, it's something that's worth looking for companies that have difficulty in raising finance in the traditional manner. I suppose just one other one to touch on too. It's another government support is the Microfinance Ireland, and this is aimed at smaller businesses who are trying to protect jobs and struggling to get bank finance. It's funded through Microfinance Ireland, and there's a total fund available of about €20 million. And this is really aimed for loans up to 50,000, from between 5 and 50,000. And again, like the Working Capital Loan Scheme with the SBCI, the loans are a 36-month period. The first 6 months are interest-free and repayment-free, and then you pay back the loan over the remaining 30 months, and with an interest rate at 4.5%. So it's quite an attractive interest rate, albeit with a fairly tight repayment capacity or repayment period. Companies that are eligible for this are businesses with less than 10 employees and up to about 2 million annual turnover. And I suppose just one final one just to mention to you as well, and I know Desi has been involved in this too, and maybe Desi will add to this, is the InterTrade Ireland support. There's an emergency business solution, and again this is a bit like the old Brexit voucher scheme, whereby businesses can get support to the value of 2,250 to help them in developing a framework for the impact of the downturn from the COVID-19 outbreak. Desi, you maybe want to just comment on that as well. If
Yes, Mel, I suppose the purpose of this is InterTrade Ireland given some financial assistance towards engaging a consultant in areas basically, if you want to look at what government supports are available in navigating through this current crisis, that might mean assistance with cash flow,
completing lending applications, any of those kind of supports, even that Mel and Michael have mentioned. If you're going for a loan, but you haven't got the experience, you don't know where to start, the InterTrade Ireland voucher would be very useful in that context. It also covers HR and people issues, production issues. However, one I suppose condition of it currently is it's only available to existing InterTrade Ireland businesses. So that's businesses that are currently on the Acumen Fusion or Elevate programs, for example. It hopefully, I suppose, as things develop, they'll widen, I suppose, the eligibility of that, maybe to all SMEs, for example. But as Mel mentioned, it's quite similar to the Brexit voucher that was in existence for the last 18 months, and in Gilroy Gannon we were approved on that panel with InterTrade Ireland, and likewise we're approved on the panel here for the emergency business solution in relation to the COVID crisis.
All right, thanks for that, Desi. Local enterprise offices across the country have their business continuity voucher available for local business. Michael, could you go into that, please?
Just to follow up from what I mentioned about EI and what the other guys spoke about there, the Leo offices again have been out very early in supports for, I suppose, smaller businesses. These would be any employer or any sole trader with employees up to 50, and the Leo offices are offering a business continuity voucher for 2,500, and these are accessible on the various local enterprise office websites, and they can be used for a number of things, including developing a business plan, looking at your financial structure, looking at methodology for reducing costs. It can be used to get assistance from a consultant to do a bank loan application. And in fairness, it's a very, very simple 2-page application form, which is accessible from the Leo website. And all the contacts and all the links for the various documentation that we've spoken about in this broadcast are available via our website under the business support summary document. And just finally, Jim, I'd like to mention that Leo offices continue with their ongoing program for many years of mentoring. Leo provides supports to small businesses to develop their business, whether it be online marketing, financial or other business sustainability or restructuring or streamlining. So there is various options there for people. So across the spectrum of businesses, from large businesses who may be going to SBCI or on the smaller level just going to their local Leo offices, there is a broad range of supports available, and we would encourage everyone to reach out and use these supports and assess where they are in their current business.
Thank you very much for that, Business Advisory Director Michael Keane. Mel McKeown, as we wrap up, do you have any closing words?
Okay, thanks very much to Desi Foley and Michael Keane, and I hope that what we've put out there is just to give you all a flavour of what is available. As Michael said, we would encourage all of our clients and any company at all to have a look at those supports and to see what is available. It's an unprecedented time in the economy, and I suppose we all need to look at what help is available. And again, just to reiterate that the team at Gilroy Gannon are ready and willing to help. Gilroy Gannon comprises over 50 staff, and we have a wealth of experience in finance and business and tax consultancy. We're based up here in the Northwest, but we cover all of the country, and we'd be happy to chat to anybody over email or by telephone. And you can get our various contact details on our website, www.gilroygannon.com.
Thank you for that, Gilroy Gannon partner Mel McKeown. Business Advisory Director Michael Keane, and Tax Director Desi Foley for all those overviews on some of the business supports available during the COVID-19 crisis. Remember, you can download a PDF of our full business support summary, including links to all the various schemes mentioned earlier, from gilroygannon.com/COVID19. And if you require any specific support, please contact Gilroy Gannon online at COVID-19 support@gilroygannon.com. Bye for now.